For now, you need to learn about nothing else other than the death of Raphael of Urbino, who died last night on Good Friday, leaving this court in great and universal mourning over his loss, and over the hopes of all the great things that were expected of him, which would have brought honor to his age. The heaven sent warnings of his death, one of them the same that forebode the death of Christ when the stone split. That is when the palace of the Pope opened up and threatened ruination. And His Holiness, out of fear, fled from his apartments and went to those that Pope Innocent had built. Here, no one is speaking of anything other than the death of this good man, who at the end of his 33 years had finished his first life, but his second life, that of his fame, which is not subject to time or death, will be eternal, both for his works and for the efforts of the learned men who write in his praise, and for this they do not lack inspiration. The aforementioned Raphael was honorably buried in the Pantheon, where he has ordered that a tomb costing 1,000 ducats be constructed to his memory. Raphael of Urbino, most excellent painter and architect of the Church of St. Peter's, has died, to the great sorrow of everyone and of the Pope, who had sent someone many times to visit him. He was a young man of 34, and he left 3,000 ducats in cash behind, and houses, property in Urbino, and the house where he lived that he bought for 3,000 ducats. Therefore, altogether 16,000 ducats. All men of letters are grieving his death, since he never finished the description and survey of ancient Rome that he was working on, which was indeed a wonderful thing. He died at the 3rd hour after sunset on a Holy Friday, the day of his birthday. On Good Friday, in the night, with the coming of Saturday in sight, 3 hours after sunset, the most refined and excellent painter, Raphael of Urbino, died to the universal grief of everyone and especially learned men, more even than the painters and the architects. He had been writing a book, just like Ptolemy's map of the world, on the buildings of Rome, showing their proportions, form, and ornaments with great clarity, so that whoever saw them would have said to have imagined that they had seen ancient Rome itself. He had already completed the first region. Now death has interrupted such a great and praiseworthy project, enviously snatching away a master who was only 34 years old on his own birthday. The Pope himself is inconsolable, and during the 15 days in which he, Raphael, was ill, sent someone as many as 6 times to visit and comfort him. Just think of what everyone else must have done. And considering that the palace of the popes in recent days threatened ruination, so much so that His Holiness moved into the apartments of Monsignor Thibaut, that there are those who say that the weight of the porticos on the upper floors was not the reason, but that it was a prodigy of God to say that he would be missed. And a man of such excellence is indeed missed, and everyone of gentle spirit must grieve him and miss him, not only with mere earthly voices, but even more so with moving and perpetual compositions of poetry, and, if I am not mistaken, these compositions are already widely underway. They say that he left 16,000 ducats to be distributed, including 5,000 in cash. Most of this will go to his friends and servants. The house by Bramante, that he bought for 3,000 ducats, he left to the Cardinal of Santa Maria in Portico, and he was buried in the Pantheon, where he was honorably transferred.